I'm going to get started. It's about 5 minutes after 11. As indicated in the press release, we have filed a federal civil rights lawsuit in the Eastern District of Pennsylvania against Mayor Kenney and the city of Philadelphia. The basis of the suit is the illegal executive order, dubbed Executive Order 2-21, that the mayor issued about 6 weeks ago, canceling Columbus Day and replacing it in its stead with Indigenous Peoples Day. And the basis of the lawsuit is to challenge the lawfulness of that very executive order. It's clearly illegal in a number of respects. First, it's contrary to the provisions set forth in Philadelphia's Home Rule Charter in terms of how you designate a holiday. It violates the State Home Rule Act in that executive order canceling Columbus Day specifically clashes with a state statute that declares Columbus Day shall be a holiday in the entire Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. And above and beyond both of those violations, the executive order violates the Equal Protection Clause of the United States Constitution because he's choosing which ethnic groups to foster and support and which ethnic groups to condemn. And problematically, the executive order that Mayor Kenney entered was accompanied by a statement from the mayor saying that the reason he is canceling Columbus Day as a holiday in Philadelphia is because Christopher Columbus was a terrible, terrible person. He was guilty of genocide. He was guilty of enslaving native West Indians. He was guilty of all kinds of atrocities in the manner in which he conducted himself when he first discovered the Western world. These kinds of accusations are absolutely not true. But even if they were, our country, our democracy, our Constitution is not set up so that a mayor or a governor or any other executive official can, by fiat, begin deciding which ethnic groups he wants to advance or like or support and which ethnic groups he's going to shun and disdain. That's a violation of the Equal Protection Clause of the United States Constitution, and it's a clear violation of that. The lawsuit has been brought not just by a couple of local Philadelphians. This executive order and the conduct of the mayor of Philadelphia over the last several years has been the focus of a lot of nationwide attention. So this lawsuit is being brought not just by Philadelphians, not just by council member Mark Squilla, but is being brought by the Conference of Presidents, which is an umbrella organization in this country consisting of the presidents of every major Italian-American organization throughout the nation. And it's of such utmost importance that we and the Conference of Presidents established this case as a precedent that the kinds of rule by fiat and edict and dictatorship are not to be tolerated in our democracy. Because let's not forget, today it's the Christopher Columbus holiday. Tomorrow it could be some other holiday, depending upon what some other mayor in some other city likes or doesn't like. Maybe the next mayor in Philadelphia doesn't like St. Patty's Day. Are we going to allow them just cancel that? Maybe that mayor's not going to like Martin Luther King's birthday. This is not how a democracy functions, that a self-anointed dictator wakes up in the morning and decides which holidays he's going to cancel and which holidays he's going to establish. We have processes in place. The Philadelphia Home Rule Charter has a process. State statute has a process. United States Constitution has a process. And that process is largely participatory. Participatory by the legislatures, participatory by the public, participatory by the people who have a vested interest in the fabric of our society. And they do not countenance even a moment for the kind of piccadillies that a particular mayor may have, the kinds of prejudices that a mayor may have against a particular ethnic group or a particular holiday or a particular statute or monument. And unfortunately, in Philadelphia, over the last couple of years, both we as Philadelphians and the Italian-American community nationwide have observed a mayor who has gone out of his way to target Italian-American culture, to target Italian-American values, to tear down their monuments, tear down their statues, cancel their holidays. This mayor has made and has articulated racial epithets against Italians publicly. Most recently, in his allocation of COVID vaccines, he specifically went out of his way to make sure that the Italian-American community located in South Philadelphia was not included. He's been very, very difficult with Italian-American captains in our police department. He's labeled Italian-Americans who were trying to protect the statute as vigilantes. There's a distinct and unmistakable pattern of anti-American bias and discrimination practiced by this mayor. And the lawsuit that we have filed is designed to stand up to it, to put a stop to it, and to insist that our democratic processes be followed when making these kinds of decisions, and that we are not living in Moscow with Mayor Putin. We're living in the city of Philadelphia with a duly elected mayor that has a city council that has a right to participate in this, and in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania that has a legislature that has a right to participate in this. And we're living in the United States of America that has a Congress that has legislated nationwide a Columbus Day holiday. And you don't just wake up some morning and decide, I'm going to cancel it. So we take this case very, very seriously. The Conference of Presidents, perhaps the most prestigious Italian organization in the country as it now stands, they join in this lawsuit. Council member Mark Squilla has been dealing with the mayor at length on all of these issues and is extremely frustrated. He joins in the lawsuit, and we hope to be able to set a national standard that whether it's Italian Americans or Irish or African Americans, whatever the ethnic group is, they're to be treated equally, they're to be treated with a democratic process and in a constitutional way. I'd be happy to answer any questions that anybody may have. We have distributed a copy of the complaint that was filed this morning in federal court in the Eastern District of Pennsylvania. I'd be happy to respond to any of those questions. If anybody didn't get it, let me know. We'll make sure you do get it. But I'd be happy to answer any questions that anybody may have. Well, hearing no questions, I do know that we have, it appears, NBC on the line, CBS, WPVI, and perhaps a couple of others. But if there are no questions, I'll leave it at that. I will note that we're joined this morning by Basil Russo. He is the national president of the Conference of Presidents of that organization. And Basil, if you'd like to make any comment beyond what was contained in your press release, by all means, feel free.
George, I think you have articulated our position very, very well. We're very comfortable with the explanation you have given. We simply want to see a situation in our country where all ethnic groups are afforded the opportunity to celebrate the contributions that they've all made to our country and all have a right to be proud of. And we should all be allowed to do so in an environment of mutual respect for one another. We respect everybody else. We respect their rights to take pride in their heritage and their accomplishments. And we choose to do the same and expect that they would show us the same respect.
Great, thank you, Basil. Well, if there are no other questions, I'll conclude it at that. I thank everybody for coming, and I'm available in the office or elsewhere. If there's any follow-up questions, that type of thing, I'll make myself available. Thanks so much, everybody.